In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on October 25th, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Minnesota Timberwolves versus Toronto Raptors. In a cross-conference showdown, 2 teams kick off their 2023 to 2024 campaign north of the border. The Minnesota Timberwolves hit the road for a matchup against the Toronto Raptors on Wednesday night. Minnesota wrapped up last season with a 42-40 record, securing the 8th seed in the Western Conference playoffs. Their postseason journey was cut short with a 5-game first-round exit at the hands of the Nuggets. Meanwhile, Toronto ended the 2022 to 2023 season with a 41-41 record and missed the playoffs. In their overall regular season series, the Raptors hold a 37-17 edge. Last season, the teams split 2 meetings, with the Raptors claiming a 122-107 home victory in their most recent encounter on March 18, 2023. The Minnesota Timberwolves are riding the momentum of 2 consecutive playoff appearances, but now they're on a quest for their first playoff series win since 2003 to 2004. Chris Finch is entering his 3rd season as head coach. The Timberwolves haven't made substantial improvements this season, and some may argue that they've even regressed with the departures of Jalen Noel, Taurean Prince, and Austin Rivers. While they boast talents like Anthony Edwards, a rising star in the league, and Karl Anthony Towns, one of the premier big men, there's a sense that they need more to make a significant impact. Jaden McDaniels is known as one of the league's top defenders, and Naz Reid was in the midst of his best season before an injury cut his campaign short. The jury is still out on whether the Rudy Gobert addition will prove fruitful in the second season. The Timberwolves have earned a place in the playoffs, but it's evident that they might be one standout player away from being a feared contender in the West. The Toronto Raptors secured 41 wins last year but missed the playoffs, marking their 2nd consecutive postseason absence. They now enter the Darko Rajakovic era. The Raptors opted to move on from Fred VanVleet and have infused youth into the roster with newcomers like Grady Dick, Mohamed Ugay, Marquise Noel, and Makur Maker. Dennis Schroeder and Garrett Temple were the 2 veterans brought in. The Raptors still boast their talented trio comprising Og Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, and Pascal Siakam, providing them with a fighting chance in the Eastern Conference. However, the Raptors appear to be a player or 2 away from true contention, which might explain the rumors linking them to Damian Lillard last month. Nonetheless, the Raptors are expected to put up a fight for a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference this season. This showdown carries the potential to be one of the standout games on the opening night, as both teams are eager to demonstrate that they're stronger than the national perception suggests. The Timberwolves might have the advantage in star power, but they'll be missing one of their premier defenders in Jaden McDaniels. The Toronto Raptors are embracing the youth movement, yet they still have established veterans like Anunoby and Siakam. The Raptors have the potential to exceed expectations, and it all starts with setting the tone in games like this, particularly when playing at home. So the Toronto Raptors to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Minnesota exhibited an undertrend in 43 of their regular season matchups last season, finishing with a record of 43-38-1. The Timberwolves were among the league leaders in turnovers, committing the 4th highest number per game at 15.3 turnovers on average. They played at a brisk pace, ranking 7th in the league with an average of 101 possessions per game. In contrast, Toronto saw over outcomes in 46 of their regular season games, concluding with a record of 46-36. The Raptors were the best in the league at ball security, committing the fewest turnovers per game at 11.7, while also forcing the 2nd most turnovers per game. This ability to create turnovers offset their 27th place finish in field goal percentage defense at 49.1%. Toronto maintained a slower pace, ranking 26th in the league with an average of 97.1 possessions per game. The Timberwolves averaged 115 points per game last season, including 114 points per game on the road. In their last 3 matchups against the Raptors, they averaged 112 points per game. On the defensive end, the Raptors allowed 111 points per game last season, and this season, their defensive performance might not be as strong. Thus, we can expect the Timberwolves to score at least 115 points in this game. The Raptors averaged 113 points per game last season, with an average of 114 points per game at home. In their last 3 meetings against the Timberwolves, they averaged 124 points per game. The Timberwolves allowed an average of 116 points per game on the road last season, and while they might improve this year, it's unlikely they'll be able to stifle the Raptors enough to keep them from scoring a sufficient number of points to push the total over. Both of their meetings last season exceeded the total, and this one is likely to follow suit, especially with big offensive performances from Towns and Edwards. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Oklahoma City Thunder versus Chicago Bulls. In this matchup, 2 teams that entered the play-in tournament in their respective conferences but fell short of the actual playoff field are set to commence their 2023-2024 regular season in the Windy City. The Oklahoma City Thunder hit the road as they journey to take on the Chicago Bulls on Wednesday night. Oklahoma City concluded last season with a 40-42 record and finished 10th in the Western Conference. They managed to defeat New Orleans in the 9-10 play-in game but were subsequently defeated 120-95 by Minnesota with the 8th seed at stake. On the other side, Chicago found themselves in a similar situation in the Eastern Conference, finishing the season with a 40-42 record and securing the 10th spot in the conference standings. The Bulls clinched a 109-105 victory over the Raptors in the 9-10 play-in game but couldn't sustain the momentum, losing 102-91 to Miami, thereby ending their season. In their overall regular season series, the Thunder narrowly leads with a 78-77 record and claimed both encounters last season, including a 124-110 road win in their most recent matchup on January 13, 2023. The Oklahoma City Thunder secured 40 wins last season and are entering their 4th year under coach Mark Daigneault. This marked a significant improvement from their 2021-2022 season, with a 16-win jump, signifying that the franchise is heading in the right direction. The Thunder boasts a star player in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and there's a wealth of young talent on their roster, including Josh Giddey, Luguentz Dort, and Jalen Williams. A significant boost to their lineup comes with the return of Chet Holmgren, who missed the entire previous season due to injury. Oklahoma City added a veteran presence and sharpshooting with Davis Bertans, and first-round pick Casson Wallace is expected to contribute immediately. There's undeniable talent in Oklahoma City, and the substantial improvement last year has fans excited. The Thunder have a chance to make the playoffs for the first time since the 2019-2020 season. The Chicago Bulls are coming off a 40-win season and entering their 4th year under coach Billy Donovan. The Bulls have struggled to make the playoffs, missing the postseason in 5 of the last 6 seasons. Apart from replacing Patrick Beverley with Jevon Carter, the Bulls made limited offseason improvements to their roster. They are relying on the veteran core of Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic. The Bulls' hopes are pinned on the health of Alex Caruso, who has played in just 108 games over the past 2 seasons. The absence of Lonzo Ball due to injury further compounds the Bulls' challenges. Chicago does have its share of talent, but the lack of depth raises questions about their prospects this season, with odds suggesting they may struggle once again. Both teams are carrying the belief that continuity in their rosters will translate to a step forward this season. While these teams had similar trajectories last year, the head-to-head matchups were in favor of the Oklahoma City Thunder as they swept the 2-game series with an average margin of victory of 9 points. While the Oklahoma City Thunder have a roster brimming with young talent and the potential to reach the playoffs, it's worth noting that this is the season opener and Chicago's experienced veterans at home may have the edge. The Thunder's youthful roster may need a week or 2 to hit their stride. The Chicago Bulls feature a lineup filled with seasoned players who understand the importance of starting the season strong, racking up early wins to avoid digging themselves into a hole. In this near-pick'em scenario, the Chicago Bulls, one of the healthier teams in the league currently, are favored to win and cover the spread. So the Chicago Bulls to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Oklahoma City leaned toward the over, posting a 46-35-1 record in the regular season last year. The Thunder played at a fast tempo, ranking 6th in the league with an average of 101.1 possessions per game, while committing the 5th most turnovers with 13 per game. Coupled with a top 10 scoring offense and a near bottom 10 scoring defense, it's no surprise that the Thunder were inclined to games with high totals. In contrast, Chicago favored the under with a record of 44-36-2 in the regular season. The Bulls ranked 12th in the league for turnovers committed, while they were 24th in offensive rating and 5th in defensive efficiency. Chicago played at a slightly below below average pace, sitting 19th in tempo with an average of 98.5 possessions per game. Their previous meeting saw the over hit in both instances last season, with an average point total of 238 points per game. Over their last 10 meetings, the over has gone 8-2, with at least one team scoring 120 or more points in 6 of those matchups. On 5 occasions, it was the Oklahoma City Thunder who crossed the 120-point threshold, including both games last season. With Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as the focal point of the offense, the Thunder have evolved into one of the faster-paced offenses in the NBA. Last season, they ranked 3rd in the league in pace according to dunksandthrees.com, and they appear to be getting younger and more athletic with each passing season. Holmgren's return won't hinder the offensive pace. Chicago, on the other hand, ranked 19th in pace. DeRozan and Lavine will continue to lead the offense, and as long as they involve more players, they should elevate their offensive statistics this season. The over hit in 8 of the last 10 meetings between the teams, and this game seems likely to follow a similar trend. Expect a fast-paced contest from the start. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. New Orleans Pelicans versus Memphis Grizzlies. This Wednesday night, the 2023 season opens with a clash between two Western Conference contenders. The New Orleans Pelicans are on the road, while the Memphis Grizzlies await their arrival. The home team has dominated recent encounters, securing victory in the last 6 meetings between these franchises. The Pelicans have secured 78 wins over the past 2 seasons and are entering their 3rd year under the guidance of Coach Willie Green. In terms of roster changes, New Orleans didn't make major moves to offset the departures of Jackson Hayes, Josh Richardson, Garrett Temple, and Willie Hernangomez. They did, however, draft Jordan Hawkins in the 1st round and added Cody Zeller to their lineup. The primary focus for the Pelicans is ensuring the health and conditioning of Zion Williamson. With a fit Zion, complemented by C.J. McCollum, Brandon Ingram, and Jonas Valanciunas, the Pelicans pose a legitimate threat in the Western Conference. Although depth might be a concern, their starting lineup ranks among the league's best if Zion remains healthy. The key will be keeping the big man on the court. The Memphis Grizzlies secured 51 wins last year, marking their 3rd consecutive playoff appearance as they embark on their 5th season under Coach Taylor Jenkins. The Grizzlies bid farewell to Dillon Brooks and welcomed additions in Marcus Smart and Derrick Rose. Smart brings defensive prowess and tenacity reminiscent of Brooks, while Rose might serve as a valuable veteran mentor, especially with Ja Morant suspended for the first 25 games of the season. The trio of Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Desmond Bane makes the Grizzlies a strong contender in the Western Conference. Adding Smart strengthens their prospects, but the loss of Steven Adams for the season is a significant blow. Despite Morant's early absence, the Grizzlies will still be a force to be reckoned with come playoff time, with the core of the team maturing. Both of these teams boasted strong defenses last season, a trend likely to continue in 2023. However, scoring might come more easily for one of them, and it's not the team with their top 2 scorers at full strength. Ja Morant's absence will be felt profoundly as the Grizzlies' leading scorer and playmaker. Steven Adams' prowess on the offensive boards was pivotal for a team that struggled with shooting efficiency last season. Brandon Clark, a key contributor, averaged 10 points per game off the Grizzlies' bench and led the team in field goal percentage. With Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram, the Pelicans become a markedly different offensive force, and they won't miss a beat defensively. As I've emphasized before, I hold high expectations for the New Orleans Pelicans entering this season, and I'm inclined to support them in numerous matchups. If Zion can maintain his health, the Pelicans possess the potential to be a dark horse in the competitive Western Conference. The Memphis Grizzlies enter this contest with limitations, having lost Steven Adams for the season, with Ja suspended, and injuries sidelining Santi Aldama and Brandon Clark. If the Pelicans live up to their potential, these are games they should win. So the New Orleans Pelicans to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. It's important to note that the Pelicans concluded last year with the 6th best defensive rating, while the Grizzlies ranked 3rd. Memphis played at a faster pace, with Ja Morant playing a significant role in that regard. Without him, the Grizzlies will lack their leading scorer and the engine for their tempo. Additionally, the Pelicans struggled with efficient shooting, finishing 23rd in turnover percentage. They managed to score more than 115 points against the Grizzlies just once in 4 meetings last season. Despite the return of their key scorers, they face a formidable defense. Given the matchup between inefficient shooting teams and robust defenses, particularly in the absence of Ja Morant, the total points in this game are unlikely to surpass 230. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.